All right, so I'm doing a new shelter. See, this is my hunting camp from last fall. And you can kind of see in there that it's a kind of a teepee scenario. But what we ran into was it's a very nice, roomy shelter. And this fire pit here does a great job warming it. But what we ran into is to sleep two people, it's really crowded. Not to say we couldn't do it, but my first attempt was, it was in the same spot, and we used all this plastic here that we used on this one, and we used this branch. And what I did was I did two plow points off of it, and it didn't really work. So what I'm trying to do is I've just moved over from here to here, and this is just a very, very rough skeleton of what I'm trying to go for. My favorite shelter is like a plow point, or a kind of it's not a full lean-to. Like if I took these out of here, kind of see what's going on here, and you've got this nice little partial lean-to here, and this is something that you could make with just one ridge pole. There's no cordage on this, and this is what I would do in a survival situation, or if I had it was just stringing up a tarp, is I actually have this just locked in here with this Y, and this Y goes down here to a cornerstone. Now this is the actual dimension, so it's actually probably another 16 inches further. And then what I'll actually do is I'll lean branches off of this down and step them down so that this end is completely closed off, and this will be the same through there. But what I'll also do is I'll put these back up here, and you can see that I now have the rough end of a door on this. Now I put that rock down there because the one problem I have with these plow points, whether I was doing this with a tarp or not, is foot room. When you lay in there, your feet stick up and you want to hit the top, so top of your shelter, and then you'll knock your sticks and stuff off. So that gives me about 8 inches or so of toe room, and it raised this end from here to here. You can see I had it hammered in right under this knot. So now it's up here, it's perfectly stable. This is the log that I used my machete to cut down, so it's over there, and I cut it down with the intended use of this, because this piece here, this Y, is actually the upper part I cut off from here. So most of this is going to be deadfall, and this plastic over here, I'm going to recycle all of this. That's where I got all these poles, but I needed something green for my ridge pole. I didn't want deadfall to break on me or something, so that's why I cut this. Now if I was going to make a debris hut, you can see I've kicked all these leaves over here in a big pile, and I've got another pile over there and another pile over there, because this is where my fire pit's going to go. And that gets me down to the bare dirt, and I can see where my bed would go when I use this. And what I like about this is I'm up against this tree, is I can actually lean against this tree, sit and do my work and stuff, and then when it's bedtime I can just crawl, just kind of sit, stick my feet down there, and be good to go. So the other part of this is I've also cleared a spot right here that if I come off of this at 90 degrees, I will miss this tree. I can park another one of these right off of this. Even if it's just temporary, I can throw a tarp down or something, or a tarp up in a sleeping bag, and these will share a fire right here. So one fire will be able to heat both of these shelters in theory. So that's the start of it. I'm going to go ahead and tear this down. My dog's napping in the in the in the old one. But I'm going to tear this down and I'll give you an update. But this, I just wanted to show the bare bones of this structure because this is the style that I would prefer. I would not spend the time trying to, like, say, hang this in between these two trees and make like a lean-to. I want it closed off on 3 sides. So basically I'm only going to have one side that's open here. And you could have a long fire if you really wanted to. I can move this back, so, you know, I basically got it. Right there would be about halfway. So anyways, but I like cornerstones. Cornerstones because I can stack rocks around this end, and I actually close all this off on this end here with just rocks, and I can put another one there. I have one there. It keeps things from sliding until they get settled and everything gets kind of locked in place by gravity.